Okay, welcome back. This is the epilogue. Whew, Charlie. The earlier afternoon sunshine heated my skin. I closed my eyes and soaked it up. A crowd of people poured from the arched doorways of St. Louis Cathedral. Simon pressed a kiss to my shoulders. You look incredible, and I'm the luckiest bastard on the planet. My vintage Dior dress had cost me almost 2 months' worth of pay from my very beloved job, Director of Finance of the Kingman Project. It was perhaps the most indulgent purchase I've ever made, but seeing the look on Simon's face as I walked down the rose petal strewn aisle on his father's arms was worth every penny. The strapless champagne colored bodice faded into the thinly layered tulle skirt of the same color. It was encrusted with hundreds of scattered crystals that glittered like diamonds in the sun. My eyes devoured Simon. He was, as always, devastatingly handsome in a tux. You don't look so bad yourself. I tilted my face up for a kiss. Guess that makes me one lucky girl. And I was lucky. My father might not have given me away, and my mother might not have looked on with tears in her eyes as her daughter married the man she loved. But today, every day, I was surrounded by people who accept me for who I was. They welcomed me without question when I had no past and embraced me unconditionally even after my secrets had been revealed. They'd shown me what true family was supposed to be. Simon brushed his lips across mine before straightening as Khan approached, Huck at his side. Handing off the leash to Simon, Khan said, Better treat her right, Duchessness, or you'll answer to me. While his words carried a warning, the tone wasn't harsh. Simon and Khan had, after a few fits and starts, formed a solid friendships of their own. The men shook hands. You have my permission to kick my ass if I don't. Khan released Simon's hand and focused on me. Leaning down, he pressed a kiss to my cheek. Happy looks good on you, Lee. Give him hell. Thank you for everything, I whispered. Khan nodded and slipped away to find his date. He's right. Happy looks beautiful on you. I turned toward the familiar voice to see Juanita dabbing at her eyes with a delicate handkerchief. I stepped away from Simon to wrap my arms around her. Thank you for being here. I wouldn't miss it for the world. She squeezed me tightly for a long moment before releasing me. Don't forget this, girlie, Ev said, holding out a feathered parasol. It's almost time. I accepted it from her along with a hug. Thank you, both of you. The smile that stretched across my face was so wide, it made my cheeks ache. It had been that way for days. Blinking back sentimental tears, I twirled the parasol, making the feathers bounce. Simon returned to my side and accepted hugs from both Ev and Juanita. Then he held out his free hand. Are you ready, Mrs. Duchessness? I laced my fingers through his and smiled up at him. I am now. The band leader called off a beat, and the sound of jazz filled the air as the wedding party, followed by all of our guests, moved en masse toward the street of the French Quarters. The end. Ah! Oh, this book was so much fun to read. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. Okay, so with that being said, from the beginning, I understand relationships move fast sometimes, and love at first sight is a thing, and that's what they found. Or he just was so infatuated with her, and no, No, it's love at first sight. So I liked them together. Me and my aunt was talking about this book throughout the whole book, and we were like wondering how old she was because of her personality and her thought pattern. So we found that out. We have yet to find out how old Simon is, but he sounds like an older gentleman. I don't know how much older. He does not sound like is in her age bracket, but that doesn't matter. Love is love, right? Okay, so Charlotte, Charlotte slash Charlie slash Lee was she was strong-willed, strong-minded, and but at the same time, it seemed like she was borderline, had low self-esteem. In the beginning, I didn't know why she was like that. I was so like, why you think like that? Like, your father issues is not yours. And then I like the back and forth that Simon and Charlotte had with the power pull and stuff like that. That was really good to see, read about. And then I just thought that Ev, when she slept with Khan, I thought that her and Charlie wasn't going to be friends anymore. And then Ev spilled the beans to Simon about where she was when they was going through stuff. So I was like side-eyeing Ev about that because she was breaking girl code. And then when Khan told her that he knew the whole entire time, I thought that he was going to use that as leverage over her to get what he wanted from her. And then I thought he was going to use it as leverage over Simon to like have a aha, I got one. But he didn't. So he turned out to be a good guy. You know, whatever that they had going on, he ended up being a good guy. And then Harriet, she was the one who let the cat out the bag about her first name. But like my aunt said, she's an elderly woman and they don't hold nobody's secrets. But, you know, she wasn't in the story that much. She was just like, hey, and out. Okay, Juanita was the one that had to put Charlotte in her place, tell her to stop thinking the way she's thinking, even though she told her before, you know, sometimes people telling you something just don't work until you absolutely see it with your own eyes. And with that said, she saw it with her own eyes. Now, the twist that got me was that her father put all of those accounts in her name. That shocked the crap out of me. I was like, whoa. And then when she confronted him, he had the nerve to say he was disappointed in her. Now, it would have, well, see, I can't put myself in their shoes because I wouldn't have been thinking about him at all. I'm like, right. But then it's a good thing that she did what she did, because had she not done it, she wouldn't have known that the council was in her name. So later on down the line, she all happy and stuff like that, they could have came and got her. So it's a good thing she did that, because she found out. And as for her mom, well, mother and daughter relationships are tough. Ain't that what they say? But to have a jacked up mother and father was crazy. Okay, Simon. My aunt seems to think that he's a little possessive, and he's borderline controlling because of he liked to dress her and tell her what to do and stuff like that. But I agree with her on that. But at the same time, Charlie wasn't taking his crap. Charlie was a pushback kind of person. Like, I'm gonna do it, but look here, is she gonna pay you back? So I thought that was an even thing between him. And he loved hard. He loved hard from day one. And I was concerned about his parents. But the incident with his mother it happened at the right moment because it helped his father see the big picture about what Simon wanted to do, and that stopped him dead in his tracks with trying to convince Simon to go down the political route and then choose love and go fight for her and stuff like that. And I liked the fact that Simon, even though he was being, she wasn't telling him the whole truth when she had multiple times to tell him, he still just saw her for her, and a lot of people sometimes need that and sometimes they don't. But Charlie ended up being a good person. She was innocent and stuff like that, so I can see why he helped her with a lot of stuff. And let me think, anything else? I love the way that the book was written. The storyline was perfect, even if there was strong language in it, and then there were sex scenes. It was very tasteful. It was not over the top or anything like that. I appreciate that. I like the way she writes, and anything else. Yeah, I think that's about it. I really, really, really like this book. It was fun. And I think I said this is book 1 in the series. I would have to double check. But let's see. It doesn't tell me if it's another chapter. Another series. But I thought it said it was book 1. But I don't plan on reading the next book in the series. This was good enough for me. And if I had to rate this book out of 5 stars, I think I will give it 4.5 stars. And the half would be, the half that won't make it to 5 would be something simple like Charlie was getting on my nerve with the negative thoughts. But okay, so that's all I have. I want to say thank you to all of you who took the time out to listen to this book. I appreciate you doing so. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the interactions. So with that being said, this is the end of Beneath This Mask. And am I going to read a book for May? You're just going to have to wait and see. Bye.